Hi, this is just a little prequel. Just want to show you this picture of what my vehicle looked like just prior to me identifying the fault as the water pump. Now, the car's towed away, and this is what I recommend. Just don't drive it, just to get it towed away so you can get your garage to work on it. Okay, enjoy the rest of the video. The Boxster developed a fault. It was a little ticking noise. I was driving at 45 miles per hour down a dual carriageway quite slowly, and I heard some ticking noise coming from just behind me. I decided to pull over where I could do, and couldn't see anything wrong with the car. I was sitting there just having a think, came out the car, moved it around a bit, and found a puddle of liquid just around this rear quarter. So I didn't bother tasting the liquid or anything like that, because I thought you don't want to be tasting coolant in particular. It's poisonous. It wasn't oil, but definitely coolant. The obvious thing is that the water pump has gone, but nonetheless there's a loss of coolant, so you don't want to be driving the car. You want to just get it back on a trailer and tow it to your garage. So AA called, towed on the garage, towed onto the vehicle. Again, don't start the engine, just in case the water pump has disintegrated, and pulled it up and towed it to the garage. Now, as it turns out, it was a water pump, so we purchased this thing, which is a Melee one, not the cheapest, not the most expensive one, from I think it's called 911design.co.uk. You can get them auto dock. The reason why I picked 911 Design is because they'll check your registration, they'll make sure it fits, and there's no room for error. When you're replacing that, there's the belt that goes on as well. You do want to get one of those as well. Now, this belt is in good nick, but there's nothing worse than actually opening the car, taking out the pump, and then discovering you have to do the whole thing again a little bit later because your belt has failed. So this is the old one, and as you can see, the blades are here. This is the original. The blades are here. Now look at the blades, and you can see they're all intact, which is a good sign that it's not disintegrated. If it's disintegrated, you're gonna have to be really careful, because these blades will have disintegrated into the coolant. Okay, so you're gonna have to really flush that thing out. There's a seal that comes with this wee gasket, and that will come with the new parts as well. Now, what went wrong with this one? Well, just with age, what's happened is the rubber seal behind this, which stops the coolant from escaping, that has perished, and it's allowed the coolant to go onto the bearings. Now, the bearings are greased up, so when they're greased up and they encounter this hot water, the grease will basically disintegrate, causing the bearings to rub against each other, creating a grating noise. I don't know, you can't really hear it. You can hear a little bit of grating noise there, but when that grating noise, the bearings start to wear, and you get a bit of movement. You can see that now. You can see that, and you can see why everything's going to escape from this. Okay, so the coolant drops out first. Continue to drive it. You could disintegrate these blades, but most likely what's going to happen is you're going to put tension on that belt. It's going to just pull on the pulleys, everything that's rotating. It's going to put a lot of stress there. Blades, if these disintegrate, you're probably already fried your engine with the coolant not being present. So when you hear something which is not quite right, it's a good idea to pull over, have a good check, and make sure it's not that coolant. Now, when you're doing this, the thermostat in that same area, you could replace it, and some kits come with the thermostat as well, but thermostats unlikely to fail, so not required to actually replace them. In fact, I would just replace this, which is the water pump, and that belt. I hope this is coming useful. I've got a picture at the start showing what it looks like when it all drops out, and I'll put that picture in just to remind you the image of the vehicle with all that water at the back. Hope that helps.